Good morning, everybody. So I was talking with my buddy, and he was asking me about my solar towers here and how I get them to track the sun automatically. I was like, ooh, I can actually answer this for him and other people. So I was like, might as well just make another tower and show you how as I do it. I'm gonna need some materials, but first let's get our bars set up. I think, yeah, I've already got one of my other bars down here just by hitting the period button. What we're gonna need is a basic rotor. You can see that down there as my number 2, and then the hinge number 3, the camera number 4. Of course, you're gonna also need solar panels. I got that, and then what was this called? Number controller. I believe it's a custom controller. Yep, custom turret controller. You're gonna need that, and then depending on how you want to build it, a basic block, and that's I typically do um, across here. There's a total of 8 little blocks, and then of course I do 4 up and down of the solar panel arrays. Let's see if we can find. Do I have anything open over here? Yeah, I've been busy. You can never have too many solar panels, as it turns out. Yeah, we should have a spot over here. Let's go. This is a good candidate here. Of course, I don't have any steel plate, and we're going to get a build and repair 2 up and going so that it just kind of speeds
Energy
things along.
low.
And I'm also going to apparently be very low on energy, so fixing the energy problem. Over here. Get that out of the way. Alright. Now, let's get some materials here. Components. Take 100 of you and steel plate. Each of these. Also thinking this ship here, after our last battle, is probably a lost cause. I don't see any way of this surviving if my other ship couldn't do it. So I think that's what we're going to get rid of at some point. Let's use this one over here. I don't think I have enough for the build and repair. What? No, build and repair, number 9. Alright, get that up there. Injure myself. Alright, now, I can't remember what buttons it is to get this in production. Alright, that's on the build planner. Let's come back somewhere. Ooh, don't want to crush into that. Let's see if we can get one of these built. I should have just needed like 9 large steel tubes. All components. Okay, good. Not sure why that was being a little slow. After this, turn this on. I'm not going to deal with the walk and fly mode. Just leave that off because what we're doing is going to be very local to this. Alright, turn that on and we're going to set it to help others right here. Now then, coming back over to our building blocks here, we're going to do... Now, I think I've been typically doing 4 or 6 high. It doesn't really matter. As long as when you're done, you'll have a good line of sight to where the sun is. Alright, so I got some of those up so high. Now after this, you want to build them the way I do, which is having a row down and a row up to kind of keep it from looking kind of weird where it just kind of sticks up off the top. It also kind of keeps it, in my opinion, a little bit more balanced when it moves. But you'll get those set up that way, and then you're going to use these conveyor tubes. Simple, basic conveyor tubes, not the ones with the lips on the side. You just take that, you go up 2. That should be enough. And then after that, you're going to do a rotator right there. And then a hinge, which is number 3. I don't know how much it matters, but there's this little notch. You can kind of see it, right just above my little marker. You can barely see that little white mark going off to the upper right. That, I think, is, well, it's either the front or the back. I've just been using it as the front. I don't know how close or accurate that is. And then you can put this up. Now, this is where I typically, we'll do 8 of these. Not sure how many I had there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. And the other thing you're going to need to do is set up your camera. Number 4. And you see how it's got that dot and white line? That dot should be lower left, and the white line is the name that says camera when it's built. And you want that on the top. That will keep everything aligned. And then after this, we put these down. And I like to build it like this so it's nice and flush with the front where the camera, and just kind of keep everything uniform. Right like that. And because we use these pipes instead of these blocks, this thing can rotate, swivel, hinge, do everything it's got to do without binding on the edges. One nice, simple setup. Come on, right there. Why did you rotate? Alright. So we have all of these built. And now we're going to have to build the controller, which I am not going to do here. If we're going to keep this, we might as well put it with the rest. I like to keep everything kind of grouped together. So I'm going to come back down here into this little hole. Alright. And then, let's see here, I've got these just kind of all crammed over here. As you can see, it's each tower that you build has to have one of these. We're just going to slap this right there. And get that out of the way. Anybody want to build this for me? Come on. Wonder if it is loud. We should not be out of building materials. And maybe we're out of those computers. Come down here to the control seat. Inventory, production. Let's make... I don't need those, I don't think, hopefully. Let's make computers. Let's make 1,000 of them. Hopefully that's all we need. While we're here, though, we'll go to the control panel. And we will wait. Alright, now it's done. So, we just did the custom turret controller, which apparently is incomplete, but that's an easy way to find it. And it looks like the last one we have built, so yeah, it is properly labeled as number 15. That means my hinge is going to be solar hinge 15, my rotor is going to be solar hinge 15, my camera is going to be solar camera 15. That way it's all uniform when we go to find it all. Oops, if I can type. Rotor 15, look at that, very convenient, I like it. And hinge, which does not, because I think it's a different subgrid when you do the rotors or something. This is the only hinge I have that's not labeled. Alright, so that's all set, and then camera. We're going to do solar camera. I'm going to assume that this is correct here, 15. If we view it, that's probably right. Yep, there's the mine over there. Alright, so all those are set. I need to figure out if everything is built, otherwise it's not going to work. Let's go double check our building. Alright, we need some solar panel materials. What do you need? Solar cells, okay, that's easy enough. You're built. You're built. You are good, and you're good. What, that piece doesn't look quite built, though. That is, okay. Everything should be built except for the solar panels. That's least of our concerns. That will just automatically work. Since we're here, we'll just go ahead and put that into production. Production. Alright. I should see some sparks going here in a second. Yep, it's doing its job. It is building. So now, let's come back downstairs. Now that we've assessed it all, that should be good to go. And let's do the programming. Alright. Inventory, control panel. Now, solar, and then we can do 15, and it should bring up all the options, ignoring the panels, because we got a lot of those. We want to come down to our custom controller, our custom turret controller, and we want the azimuth rotor right here. And this is where we're going to change it to rotor 15, solar rotor 15. Should be solar rotor 15. And of course the elevation, this will be the solar hinge 15 that we labeled out. There's that. And of course the camera. Got the solar camera 15, should be at the bottom. There we go. Now, we have all that set up, and we're just going to scroll on down until we see always aim at sun. Just right below the remove tools and weapons, right there. Just click that. Now, the one thing I forgot to do is I want to come over to my hinge, and I want to put share inertial tensioner. If you don't do that, these things tend to get a little squirrely. And we want to also do that on our rotor. Right there. So now that should be good to go. If we did everything correctly, when we go up here, it should be in alignment with the rest of these solar towers. And look at that. It's all lined up. It's just waiting on parts to be built. Yeah, that'll be done eventually. But that's it. It's that easy. It just works. Thanks for hanging out. And if you have any other questions on how to do stuff, if I know how to do it, I will gladly make a short video for you. Alright, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.